Are you a woman of faith who is struggling to navigate your current season of life? Do you feel like life is just happening to you instead of for you? My name is Jill Pack. I'm a certified life coach and a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I want you to know that no matter your season or circumstance, it is possible to create a more joyful life. And I would love to show you how. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Seasons of Joy podcast. This is episode number 42, entitled Goals with Impact. Thank you so much for being here and for being a part of the Seasons of Joy community. Before I get started on this week's episode, I wanted to take a moment and just talk about my 12-week Season of Creation coaching program. I am looking for a few more women of faith who are ready to begin creating something new for themselves in 2023. Do you feel stuck in some of your goals? Are you not even sure what you want your goals to be? Do you believe it isn't possible for you to reach your goals because of your past? Do you find yourself starting a goal and then losing steam to complete it, so then you just throw it out the window? What if it is possible to love yourself to your goal? What if it's possible to reach your goal without any evidence of it from the past? What if wanting and desiring is part of God's plan for you and will help you become your best self? For the first 12 weeks of 2023, I want to work with a few women like you to create a path toward your goals and to set up your year for success. If you are interested in working with me one-on-one, all you have to do is click on the link in the show notes to get on the interest list. And then I will reach out to you to schedule a discovery call to learn more about it. So on to this week's episode. Again, this episode is about goals with impact. Many of us begin each year with New Year's resolutions. We all have this desire in us, I believe, to improve and to become better in different areas of our lives. We start out strong many times, but then our willpower and our resolve weaken over time, and then eventually they give out. We decide that we can't accomplish our goals, and we give up. And then another new year rolls around, and we set the same 5 goals that we set the year before, and we repeat the same pattern all over again. Does this sound like you? Does this sound familiar? This is a pattern that I repeated for many years until the last few years I have found a better way, and I want to share this with you. First, I'm going to share with you 4 concepts that I believe are so important to understanding how goals work. And then I want to share with you what is called the impact goal framework that was developed by Tanya Dalton. So, concept number 1 that I want you to understand is living in the gain. We need to live in the gain. This is a concept that Dr. Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan teach in their book, The Gap in the Gain. I have put a link in the show notes for you to learn more about that book, and I invite you to read it. It's a very short but powerful read. And in this book, they talk about how many people get stuck in what is called the gap. We all have an ideal in our lives, right? But it's a moving target that is continually out of reach. When we measure our progress against our ideal, this keeps us living in the gap. We don't celebrate or appreciate our progress. We tend to beat ourselves up for not reaching this ideal. But again, that ideal always is changing, and so it always feels out of reach. And this can lead us to give up because our goal feels so far away. I love this quote from the book. The future isn't a reality, it's a projection. And because it's not a reality, it can't be part of any real measurement of our progress. The only way to measure goals is backwards, against the past. Use the reality of where you currently are and measure backward from there to the reality of where you started. I love this quote so much. When you measure your progress to your past self, you are in the gain. When you look back at your gain, you will be surprised at how far you've actually come. By looking for and celebrating your gains, you create confidence and motivation on your path to future success. So that is concept number 1. Live in the gain. Concept number 2 is you are the creator of your confidence and motivation. Many people believe that confidence and motivation just happen to them. Those emotions, that drive just happens, and then they will be able to accomplish their goals, right? They believe that these things are outside of themselves, that they just happen to them. They wait around for confidence and motivation to just happen. But the truth is that you are the creator of those emotions for yourself by what you are thinking and believing. And those emotions, confidence, and motivation are the fuel for taking the actions required to reach your goal, to reach your ideal. So concept number 2 is that confidence and motivation don't just happen to you. They are created within you. You are the creator of your motivation, of your confidence. Concept number 3, achieving your goals doesn't create happiness. I personally don't believe that achieving our goals and our ideals are what makes a person happy. How many times have you thought, if I could lose weight, then I will be happy? Or if I make X amount of money, then we could be happy. Or if I had a different job, then I could be happy. If I had more time, then I could be happy. We all have thoughts similar to these. However, the things outside of us don't make us happy. We decide our happiness. We create our happiness despite our circumstances. Happiness is created within us, not by achieving our goals. There is another quote from The Gap and the Gain that I also love, and it's this: I don't think we set and achieve goals in an effort to become happy. We do it because we are happy and we want to expand our happiness. Don't you love that? We work toward our ideal and achieve our goals because it can be fun. They don't make us more valuable somehow. We don't earn our worth by how much we accomplish. We came to earth with our value and worth set. Working towards our goals gives us the opportunity to expand on our happiness. Number 4 concept. The goal is not the goal. I love this. In Tanya Dalton's book, On Purpose, she says this: goals are simply landmarks on the path to our bigger lives. I love that. We aren't here on earth to see how many goals we can reach or achieve for the sake of achieving them. Goals themselves invite opportunities to learn, grow, and become more of who we want to be. They do not define us, but they allow us to expand and enrich our human experience. We all have heard of SMART goals, but I want to teach you about impact goals. And this is a concept, again, that is taught by Tanya Dalton in her book, On Purpose. I will include a link to that in the show notes. There are so many things in this book that are good and worth reading about, but I especially love this concept about impact goals and this framework that she teaches. Each letter represents a component to the impact goal framework. And the first component of the impact goal is inspiration. When you begin choosing your goals, you want to decide what you really want out of your goals. And then you want to pay attention to the words you use. It is so important to make them exciting and attractive. You are less likely to reach a goal that you are dreading. Am I right? But when we can focus on the good we want to create by writing the goal as if it's an inevitable result, that is where the power comes. focusing on what you want to start doing, not on what you want to stop doing. For example, it's not that we want to stop overeating, it's that we want to be an intentional eater. So step number 1 is to start writing your goal in a positive statement and begin identifying yourself this way. So this actually ties really well with the conversation that I had with Tyson Bradley in episode number 38, entitled I Am Me with Tyson Bradley. This first part, this component, ties really well with an I am statement. It could be something like, I am a purposeful partaker, or I am a mindful muncher, or I am a sugar shunner, or I am a fanatic for fitness. You get the idea, right? So for me, in 2023, this is my inspirational part of my goal. I love that I am a one-bite wonder. Now, this sounds silly, I know, but there is a lot in that statement, and it actually makes me smile. And it's a 2-for-1 for me. I'm going to have one serving, and I've been working on this in 2022, but having one serving of food at each meal, and I'm going to leave at least one bite of food on my plate at every meal. I am working on being a more intentional eater, right? So the first part is inspirational. For me, my inspiration is I love that I am a one-bite wonder. The second component is that it needs to be measurable. It is important to understand that you are not the measurement, no matter what it may be. You are not the number on the scale, the number of followers you have on social media, the number of miles you run, or the number in your bank account. But there is power in measuring your progress. There are 2 kinds of numbers: quality numbers and frequency numbers. Quality numbers accumulate over time. So, for example, I am going to walk 15 miles a week, right? That accumulates over time. Frequency numbers are a pattern of occurrences. So, for example, I'm going to walk 3 days a week. Both of these are great ways to look at short-term wins, not the long-term. And at the end of the week, you measure the gain. Sometimes, however, our goal is more abstract, such as meal planning or intentional eating. That's when a habit tracker may help you create momentum and intentionally live. So step 2, you want to create a way to measure your progress. This can include quality or frequency numbers or a combination of both. You may also want to implement a habit tracker. For me, it's going to be a habit tracker. I am going to mark every meal that I leave a bite on my plate and that I have one serving. So again, find a way to measure your progress. The third component is that your goal needs to be purpose-driven. We all know that it's important to connect our goals to something meaningful. Doesn't mean we'll always love every part of the process of achieving our goal, but it's about choosing what we're going to do as part of something bigger. So in Tanya Dalton's book, she gives an example from a Yale University study. And in this study, they looked at the work of janitors in hospitals. And overall, the motivation and satisfaction in their jobs was significantly higher when they viewed what they did as part of the healing process. Not that they were washing floors or scrubbing bathrooms, that they were an integral part of the healing process. That made a big difference in their motivation and their satisfaction. So when we can see the big picture and connect our purpose, right? Connect to our purpose, this will also do the same for us. So step number 3 is to consider, what is your bigger why? What is your purpose, and how will this goal help you with your big picture? So for me, it is taking care of my body. That is the big picture. It's a gift from God to help me experience this human life, right? And the better that I can take care of it, the more I am able to do while I'm here on earth. That is my big picture. That is my why. The fourth and fifth components of the impact goal framework are actually connected and considered together. Your goal needs to be adaptable and challenging. This allows you to meet yourself where you are while creating momentum. And flexibility in the details will allow you to move towards your vision. Now, one of my coaches and mentors, Brooke Snow, calls these floors and ceilings. Or another coach I have calls them minimum baselines, right? A floor is a minimum baseline. So for example, a floor may be moving my body 15 minutes a day, and a ceiling may be moving 60 minutes a day. And it would be stated this way: each day I'm going to move my body at a minimum of 10 minutes, but I will target moving 60 minutes, right? Do you see the floor and the ceiling? This allows for adaptability while at the same time creating some challenge. Our goals are not there to either pass or fail, right? It's not a pass or fail. We need to make room for growth and grace. Sometimes we're going to kill it, and there are going to be other times when we totally miss the mark, and it's fine. It's okay. So step number 4 is to create your floor and your ceiling for your goal. For me, I am going to leave at least one bite or more of food on my plate for at least one meal, but I will target leaving a bite or more on my plate at every meal. That is my floor and my ceiling. The 6th component is timed. Deadlines allow us to move past this idea of someday. When we put our goals off to someday in the future, we aren't making them a priority today, and we will never reach them. We need to stop waiting and start living. I love Mel Robbins' quote. She says, "Stop waiting. You could get hit by a bus tomorrow." We don't know what the future holds. The only thing that we really have control over is today. So when we create a deadline, we want to give ourselves enough time, but not too much time. We want to create change, but it's not going to happen overnight or in a week. The biggest regrets don't come from the mistakes we make along our way to the goal. Regrets come from when we aren't doing the things we want to, when we don't get around to doing those things. So let's stop waiting for another day. Let's live life today and live it to its fullest. Step number 5 is to create or use a timeline that will get you moving with a little bit of urgency. For me, my timeline is 1 month. After the month of January, I'm going to reevaluate and see what I've learned, where I can tweak it, and then I'm going to do it for another month. This is the impact goal framework: inspiration, measurable, purpose-driven, adaptability, challenging, and timed. As I have explained this framework, I have shared with you one of my goals, which is this. I love that I am a one-bite wonder. I love and care for my body each day by having one serving and leaving one bite or more of food on my plate for at least one meal. But I will target leaving one bite or more at each meal for the month of January. I'm going to track my progress and do a report of my gain in the month of February. I would like to invite you to join me in making a goal with impact. If you would like some help working on your goal, there are 2 ways to do it. The first is by clicking the link in the show notes and scheduling a free discovery call with me, where I will spend 55 minutes with you working on discovering and wording and coaching you around your impact goal. The second way is to join the Seasons of Joy Community Facebook group. In January, we will have an Impact Goal workshop as well as an open coaching call where you can get coaching on anything. All you have to do is click the link in the show notes to join the community. If you can't watch the calls live, don't worry. The replays will be available for you to watch later. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you in 2023. Happy New Year, my friends. Are you a woman of faith who is struggling to navigate your current season of life? Do you feel like life is just happening to you instead of for you? My name is Jill Pack. I'm a certified life coach and a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I want you to know that no matter your season or circumstance, it is possible to create a more joyful life. And I would love to show you how. Are you ready? Let's go.